I'm gonna get back to that story, Sonny. Just, just you listen to Boomer, great one. He's gonna tell you about how it was back in the olden days, back before fire, back when we walked uphill for everything. In fact, we didn't even have a concept of downhill because there was no downhill. Everything was uphill. We thought that was normal. We didn't even have a word for it because there was no alternative. It was uphill all the time. You just need to reach down and grab yourselves by your bootstraps and pull yourselves up, Sonny. Because when I was your age, I bought a house for $25,000. And I made that money on my paper route and bussing tables at the local cafe. And if I could do it, you can do it too. You just need to reach down and pull yourself up and just buckle up there, buckaroo. God, I hate boomers.
So let me tell you a story. It wasn't that long ago. Nice lady, a nice woman, and I was having dinner with their parents of friends of mine, and they became friends even though they're older. And we were at their place, and her and her husband made us dinner. We're having dinner, and she had the leftovers. Like, oh, I gotta go and feed my friends. I'm like, friends, or what? So she went outside and fed the raccoons. And this is now the second or third generation of raccoons that are just used to coming at this house. Every night, there they were. I like raccoons. Raccoons are cool. They're very crafty. They have thumbs. Atham, he'd love to have a raccoon. There's channels where they got pet raccoons and they're always getting in some kind of mischief. I'm sure there's a reason they actually don't make good pets. Anyway, on the internet, they look cool. But even I'm like, hey, what? Have you thought about this? And the raccoons were fat and happy. They were well fed, but that's because it was like a 3, 4, 5 year process by now. And I just asked the logical questions like, well, what happens when you guys move? What if you go away for 2 weeks? Is there enough food? I'm not a raccoon food specialist, but is there enough food without you giving them your scraps every day that they could forage and do raccoon? Do the raccoons even know how to go forage for their own food? I don't know what raccoons eat. Oh, but and man, everyone points to the do not feed the animals, right? We even got you environmentalists, right? You're all leftists, right? Do not feed the animals. But humans, oh no, we're different. We're special. I won't lie. When I was a college student, starving my fucking ass off, the amount of charity and everything that went to people not American, not hardworking men, that just went to fucking degenerates. Went to the home. Oh, Cappy, you don't know the homeless. Let me tell you about working security and cops and everyone else. Homeless people are assholes. I'm going to say it again. You got to understand how they got there. Yeah, sure, drugs. Okay, fine. Right. But you got to understand that if you are legit homeless, that means you have burnt every fucking bridge you've had in your family, your friends, and everywhere else. And you'll find them. Now, yes, a lot of times drugs do play a role, but they stunt their growth. Another buddy of mine, he was a cop. He's like, I forgot what I said. It was like dealing with homeless. I said, they're always entitled. They don't want to work. It's shocking how much they'll go through a life of hell before they show up and reliably do a job on time. And he says, you know what? It's funny you had that observation because basically I've never met a homeless person that matured beyond 12. It's like they're perpetual 12-year-olds. They expect to be taken care of. They expect free shit. And how dare you ask them to do their chores? They're assholes. These aren't good people. And I don't know if it's genetics or your desire to care, but ladies, okay, especially the white girls, okay, you girls are like, white woman to the rescue. Yeah, listen to me. Put your ear up real close to the speakers, ladies. You haven't solved fucking shit. Now, not you individually, but we've spent around, depending on how you want to measure it, around $30 trillion on the welfare state in half a fucking century. Oh my God, we still got poor people. And what you got to realize, humans are animals too. You understand? Don't feed the shit. Every national park I go to, don't feed the animals. You know what I do? I don't feed the animals. Fucking burrows. Let me tell you about burrows, man. Donkeys, burrows, they're sly. They're charmers, man. Let me warn you about burrows. Okay. Burrows are these cute, they're donkeys and they're cute. And a lot of the burrows you see in the national parks or even in the national forests and grasslands, not necessarily the parks, they're just out in the wild. A lot of them have descended from the donkeys and the burros hundreds of, at least 100 years ago. Miners would use them before gas engines and stuff. Well, then either the mine ran out or we got gas. They had no reason for the burros, so they sent the burros out into the wild. I don't know if they expected them to die or what. These burros stuck around. Oh, many generations of burros. And the way they do it, every time I've gone up there, yes, burros descended from those mining burros are descendants of domesticated burros, right? So you'd say, well, they'd have a genetic predisposition to be around humans. I grant you that. Okay, I'll grant you that. But boy, are they charmers. Because they use big signs in the Black Hills. Do not feed the burros. Every woman, oh my God, you're so cute. The burro's like, hey, baby sugar mama. Yeah, why don't you give me some of your Big Mac meal you ain't going to eat? Oh, and they come up to you like you're fine around burros. Mountain lions, not so much. Burros are fine. And they come up to you because they're so accustomed to getting fed by tourists and hikers and everyone else who shouldn't be feeding them. And I wonder, well, what would happen if the humans went away? And what you got to realize is you're doing two things, okay? One, all these trillions of fucking dollars that you're just too all giddy to get. I remember seeing white woman, of course, just almost got herself kid, prancing, floating, ballerinaing, even though she's a 250-pound woman, across a busy street, not too far away from her, actually, to give this guy some money so he could go buy Chipotle. She was so proud. That's what I was saying about when I was in college. Could you give the good people some fucking money? Ladies, this is for everyone. This is beyond women. Could we maybe give Americans and hardworking people and starving college students some money? What about medical students, right? I don't know about you, but doctors are kind of important in the world. I can't imagine medical school is easy. Why don't you donate some money to med students? You know what? How about instead of just giving all the degenerates all the fucking money and the help in the world, how about sit down, sit the fuck down. Beauregard, fetch her fainting couch. She's about to pass out from the vapors. What if you just treated your husbands kindly with the same kind of love and care? Oh my God. There she went. Charlotte Bolivet debutante, whatever the French Southern antebellum South name she's got with her big poofy dress. She just passed. That's why they wore poofy dresses back then, because they're always fading, because I declare, and they fall down, but at least their big fucking dress caught them. They wouldn't hurt themselves. Oh, don't worry, the dress caught her. Have you thought about, instead of making, and could you use your money instead of the taxpayers' money or our money? So one, you're not helping these people. All right. You're just enabling them. I think we could safely say after 50 years and $35 trillion, plus or minus a couple trillion, depending on how you want to account for inflation. Oh my God, we didn't get rid of the poverty. I would name me one nonprofit you girls succeeded in achieving the cause or the goal. You never solve it, do you? You never solve it. But by God, you enabled a bunch of people, and all you're doing is you're keeping people alive longer so that they suffer more. You say, what, you want them to die? I'm like, no, let me tell you what will happen. This happened to me. Not that I was like, a 12-year-old drug addict asshole. Do you know why I'm so responsible and reliable? Because no one's going to come save me. I had to develop a work ethic. I had to show up on time. And if you're facing starvation and cold, which I certainly did, there was no, you would show up. Heck, you can't afford drugs at that, especially make it $6.90 an hour. And so that's all you're doing is just keeping them there. If you let them hit rock bottom, oh my God, guess what? They might go get a job. Oh my God, they won't even have the money for what pittance of drugs they can buy. The other thing, and I'm sorry, this is all you're doing, is you're just creating more and more raccoons who can't support themselves in the wild. And inevitably the welfare state will end. If we're going to do this humane, a lot of people say, oh, would you just cut the welfare state? I'm like, no, you'd have tremendous amounts of death. I'd say roughly a third of the population doesn't know how to support themselves. They'd freak out and die. You'd have to scale it back like 10% a year with lots of training. Like, this is a work ethic. This is why you work. It ain't happening no more. And let them starve a little. Yeah, you feel that pain in your stomach? You're not obese now with your chicken tendies in your EBT car storing up over at the 7-Eleven now, are you? When do I get my food? Well, when you get off your ass, you go earn the money for it. You're just building up I'm not kidding. It depends. It depends on population growth and birthing rates and all that other stuff and government finances. But you very well could create like a financial bubble, but it'd be a dependent and able to support themselves bubble. And it's one thing if you get a financial bubble that bursts, but you get a people bubble, you are talking tens of millions of people who will die. Even the guy with the funny mustache on his best day during war couldn't kill that many people. Of course, the communists could because it's kind of the same thing. You're keeping them alive. You're preventing them from ever recovering. You're extending their misery. And when we run out of money, it's not that we'll run out of money. It's just the money won't buy anything anymore. Because I don't know, have you heard of this thing called inflation? Have you ever seen this? Has inflation been in the news recently? I wonder how that works. Wonder how that works. And so this for everyone. It's just particularly. I just remember that woman floating because she had help. Oh, of course, he was a minority. She's just like good little bird. She said, "Got her." You're not helping. You're contributing to, enabling, and extending and worsening the problem. If you want to donate money, there's a bunch of engineering major kids who are actually going to be productive and could use a sandwich. There are some med students who could probably use a little bit of help with rent. But yeah, if you can, stop putting how you feel first and above everything else, and think about whether what you're doing in the long term is a good thing. And if you're capable, maybe help out your men first. I know. I think go get the poofy antebellum dress. Okay. Go ahead and just get that and you can feign into it. But maybe you should help out your own countrymen first. If you're like, I want to help the children overseas, and I feel so good. And if you don't believe me, again, you show me where the successes are. Show me where you cut back poverty. You show me, there's more homeless. We didn't have homeless tent cities 20 years ago. Now they're all over in every major metro. Well, you did it, liberal white woman enough, damn it. Vlad Elkins is in the house. All right, we got one's a potato sauce. $2 Australian. But I want to feel special with other people's. But yeah, that's the thing. It's always with other people's money. It's never their own. It's all about I want to feel. No. Stop. Frankly, stop being so selfish. You want to help out? You want to help out someone? Help out your fucking kids. That's where your money should be going. Stop helping out the enemy, for God's sake. Stop helping out criminals and homeless and that's the word I'm looking. Not loiterers. What's the graffiti? Sure. Just knock it off, and you're doing them a favor. They're like, the day will go like, you're giving a drug addict drugs. Knock it off. And like I said, man, how are we going to have a third generation of do-gooder social working gals going out there helping the poor people? Are we going to do this a third fucking generation? Or are you actually going to be tangible? You're going to be empirical. Say, this shit don't work. We just keep enabling the problem. We make it worse. Potato sauce again, $5 Australian. I used to donate to charity when younger. Quit it all when I realized none of it worked or helped. Yep, it's worse. It's not that it doesn't work. It worsens and enables the problem. And don't get me started about the just disgusting, vile, all Democrats, because that's what the Democrat Party is. All left-leaning people who just use it as a money-making operation. I can feel sympathetic for a homeless guy who's addicted to drugs. I can feel sympathetic to a young kid whose parents are fucked up and he's homeless. Like, okay, yeah, foster help, fine, go get help. I cannot tolerate a bunch of sanctimonious champagne sippers who, I'm gonna go help you, just so they can feel good about themselves, drink champagne, get $2 million of donation, and maybe 1,000 or 2 actually makes it to the hands of the charity. Yeah, though that and it perpetuates the problem. And you're feeding the burrows. There you go. All right, link below is a link to all the other stuff. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.